Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started on painting. So we have determined some of our colors. We've talked about some of the colors in the video, and we're going to do a short review of the video this morning. But we're going to mix up a puddle of cobalt blue. So I've got some of that happening right now. Cobalt blue, and we want it watery. When watery, cobalt blue is a beautiful sky color. So here we go. We're gonna go where we see the sky as best as we know how. We're gonna put this down behind the apples. It's where the sky peeks through. If we get some on these bluish leaves, it's okay, because ideally it's there. So if you could pick out places where you do see that, that would be helpful. Even this large leaf at the top has plenty of light cobalt blue running through it. This one too. Just do your best to see where it is that you should put the cobalt blue. Ideally, you want to touch the sky. And over here, I'm just thinking you just have to put it down. And tint the paper. Tint the paper. That's all it is. So, really, we're just looking for those blue areas. Notice how light. I can't tell you how important it is not to get dark. Remember, watercolor works light to dark. And it might not feel like you're really making any progress with something like this, but when you get finished with a watercolor, it's all these beautiful pale layers underneath that will make the biggest difference in your work. So let's just say you've put this blue in a couple places where it doesn't belong. It's okay. I just want to say that. It's okay. We're going to let that dry. We know we can always come back in. And now we're going to go ahead and give this a nice permanent green #1 layer. So mixing up a puddle of permanent green. It's going to be pretty pale. Okay, there we go. Permanent green, number 1. You know, I'm going to add some permanent yellow light to it to lighten it up. I don't want it, I want it more yellow green. So, looking at our I want to be here and here. Okay, so I'm going to go up in here. And that went on just a little too line. I want it more yellow. There we go. Too much paint on the brush. So I'm adding water. And I'm just going to let that fall. I'm going to pull it. Actually, I'm going for a larger brush. There we go, much better. And I'm putting it on the bottom. I'm doing this quickly. Notice I'm touching those apples that have a yellow color to them beneath the green. This is going on dry paper, by the way. So back to the yellow. I'm going to go ahead. I don't want to get too dark too soon. And I'm putting the yellow on those apples. It's going to take some time for all this to dry. So this is a step we want to get out of the way. Pretty much the yellow is going to go everywhere. All right, back to the green. I'm going to start pulling this across. Watercolor will dry 20% lighter, so don't worry if you feel like you've gotten too dark. Unless you've really gotten too dark. Okay, just a little bit of this. And we're gonna let everything dry. Okay, let's let everything dry. We'll come back and start to work on those leaves a little later, but this needs to be soft and it needs to dry.